Hey everyone, welcome back to day 2 of a book review of First Things First by Stephen Covey. So I wanted to quickly welcome you. For those of you that are new to Coffee Chat with Danny, we are live here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8:15-ish Pacific Standard Time, to bring you the tips, tools, and inspiration that you need to help you grow the business that you love. So, this week we're doing a book review, which is the first time we're doing it here on Coffee Chat, and it's one of my favorite books. Actually, any of the Covey family books are probably on my top list, but we're starting with First Things First, and I think it's really important because this is really the foundation of getting clear and getting focused about what it is that you want to achieve in this life. And so we're going to dive in just a second, but welcome. For those of you that don't know me, welcome replay viewers. My name is Danny. I am a performance improvement consultant. I help entrepreneurs, female entrepreneurs who are passionate and determined, get clear, focused, and a plan of action so that they can take steps in their business. They can grow in that confidence, in that love for their business, instead of feeling stressed and overwhelmed, right? Well, let's kind of talk about this next 3 steps. But first, I want to recap a little bit from yesterday so we can set the tone for today, because these all kind of build upon each other. So grab your coffee, tea, water, protein shake, get comfy because we're getting started. All right, so yesterday I talked about first things first, and basically putting first things first, the things that are important to you, the things that you value, that you want in this life. And so we're going to dive a little bit deeper, because this book is all about creating a balance between those crucial aspects of life and that inner happiness that we all kind of seek. So that is really the foundation of anything that we want to do in life. Is we've got to know what it is that we want out of this life. We want to know what it is we're moving into. So number 4, which is today's number 1, is a strong vision. It's like, a strong vision for the future. And this, when I've read this book a couple of times. This is probably the 3rd time that I've read it. And when I read it this time, I was in a much different place, right? I always talk about how when you read things, or when you see things, or when you put things out there, you're always at a different space, or your audience is always at a different space, right? And so when I read this, I was like, oh my goodness. So Bob Proctor talks about creating the visioneering, right? And something I do every morning and every night is creating a mental picture of what it is that I want, what my future is, what my vision is for maybe 5, 10, 15 years from now, what I want to achieve and where I want to be when that happens, right? And it's really getting crystal clear, like all the little details of what it is that you want, because the universe will always provide, right? You've just got to be open to it. So when you're able to have a strong, clear picture, first off, it gets you more focused and gets you more clear on, okay, this is what I want. Now I got to take those steps to get there. And with that comes easier decision making. I'm not going to say easy or quick. It's easier decision making, because you already know what you're focusing on. You already know where you're going, right? So if something comes up and that's not necessarily part of your overall vision, that's an easy way for you to be like, wait a minute, I don't think that's right. This isn't what I want, and be able to move and transition easier, because things come up, right? In our business, in our life, and things change, things happen, and it causes us to make some detours. However, we can still stay on track as long as we know where we're going, as long as we know what that vision is for us, okay? So one of the easiest ways for us to do this, and I mentioned this a little bit yesterday, was to create a personal mission statement. So what is your goal? What is your why? What is your vision? And put that into a personal mission statement that's going to help guide you through the principles and values that you have. Okay, so you can Google, Covey has a great book on creating personal mission statements. There's tons of information out there on how to create one. But yeah, there's setting that down and putting that in writing helps you get such focus and clarity on what it is you really want. Because I think we all know, but we can't admit it sometimes. We can't say it. We're scared. And so it's so empowering to actually write down what it is that you want. What are your guidelines? What are your values? What is your purpose? Good stuff, guys. All right. So number 5. Wow. Number 5 is goals based on your principles and vision. So again, these all kind of go together, which is fantastic. So when we're talking about goals, we all think New Year's resolutions, right? Beginning of the year, we set these new ideas, new goals. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Well, let me ask you, if you set a New Year's resolution this January, where are you on that goal, on that resolution? Have you taken any steps towards it? Did you start and then fall back? Are you thinking, wait, I did. What happened to that? Right? It happens. And those types of goals sometimes, generally speaking, don't necessarily fall into our overall vision, our overall purpose, overall what we want, right? And so these just kind of, we lose momentum, we lose motivation, and we just stop, right? We're good. I know at the beginning of every year when I did go to the gym that it would be packed, right? Because everybody had these New Year's resolutions of losing weight, of getting fit, of being healthy. And so everybody would be there. But by the time you get to like February, mid-February, it slowly was starting to die off. You get in there now and it's probably nowhere near as packed as it was back in January. Although it will pick up because summer's coming, right? We got to get shorts, dresses, sleeveless tops ready. All right. So the reason why these things is, first off, they don't fall into our overall vision. The other thing is we don't have a what, why, and how of how this kind of goes together. We just kind of say, okay, I'm going to be more healthier, so I'm going to go to the gym 3 days a week. Okay, great. So one of the things is, how does that align with your overall picture? How does that align with your principles, your vision, your mission? Okay, so you want to think about what, why, and how. And when you think about that, you want to think of what does your you want to make the right, you want to do the right thing, right? That's the what. The right reasons, for the right reasons, that's the why, and the how is the right way. And if you think about getting healthier, the author used the example of if you want to be more healthier, then your what is, okay, better health. Your why is because you want to feel better and you want to be a good example for your children. That's a huge why, right? And your how is you're going to eat, you're going to choose healthier options when you eat, okay? So those could be the 3 things, but do you notice that why? That why makes such a difference. When I think about, I want to be healthier because I want to set the good example for my children, because I want to be that role model for my children, that's a whole other way of looking at it than saying, yeah, I want to be healthier. I'm gonna start eating better. Right? That why is what drives us. That why is what keeps us moving, keeps us going, because there's more to it. Do you see what I'm saying? More to what we want. That is what inspires us. The other thing is you want to make sure that it's driven by importance, not urgency. So when you talk about importance, right? If I say, I'm going to start a business and I want to make $1 million. And so I'm expecting this $1 million to happen within a month or a week, right? I'm setting some urgency there that I want it now, right? And we live in this society nowadays. It amazes me sometimes how much we live in this, because we have everything at our fingertips now. Everything, anything, any information we want, anybody we want to connect with, we have like instant connection now, right? And so there's this sense of urgency that we always want it now. We want it right now. We don't want to wait for it. Like, give me instant results, right? Well, you want it to be driven by its importance to your overall picture, and not just, I want $1 million and I want it now, right? Having $1 million, let's say, may be part of your bigger vision, because maybe your vision is to travel the world on a sailboat, let's say, and you want this $1 million so that you can go and do that, or you can purchase your sailboat and start to begin your journey. Maybe that's what you want, right? If that's what you want, that's what the reason is. That's the importance behind it. Not that I want it because I want to go now. It's that bigger idea. Does that make sense? All right, so number six, and this is the last one for today, is finding perspective and acting with integrity. So the author uses a really good example, which we often look through one lens at a time, so to speak, right? When you think about a photographer uses different lenses, right? They've got, I don't know what they're called, but I know there's like close up where they can see things really close, or they can make it wider. I know on my phone, right? Like I have panorama, or I can zoom in and get really, really close, right? I can use different lenses when I'm trying to capture something or, look at something, right? And so it's kind of the same idea with what we're doing, what we're looking for. You want to look at things from different lenses. And so what I find is we often are either looking really close in, so we're looking at the little tiny little things and not even looking at our bigger picture. Or we're looking at our bigger picture and missing some of these tiny little things that need to get done, or we might miss a step here and there, right? So when we're able to look at both, right? So not only the bigger picture, but also into that more intimate kind of little details. If you think about your big vision for the year, right? I talk about always goal setting, monthly goal setting, weekly goal setting, what's your daily one thing, right? All those things, that all kinds of fits into it. If you look at your bigger year vision, and then every month you're kind of looking at what that looks like for that month into this bigger picture, right? So you're bringing those in, and now you're looking at your week. What does your week look like, right? And then in the morning, what does your day look like, right? So you're bringing all these different lenses into play instead of just showing up and looking at your day, or looking at your month and then not knowing where to put all the things for the weeks, all things for the days, right? And not quite hitting maybe all the goals that you've set for yourself. So being able to look at things from these different perspectives can help us stay on track and help us kind of fall into that bigger vision, our goal of whatever that is, right? So one of the examples is that the author uses, you want to combine some of these goals that you may have when possible. And so he uses the example of, let's say that you have to make dinner tonight, right, for your family, and you need to go meet your new neighbor, and you've got to make a new recipe for this event that you'll be going to this weekend. So you want to try out this recipe beforehand, right, because you don't want it to be wrong. So what he suggests is you make that recipe for your family for dinner that night, and you make a little bit extra so that you can then go take it to your neighbors as you meet them. So you're giving them bringing them a gift as well as meeting them. So you're kind of combining everything, right? You're getting dinner done for your family, you're trying out that new recipe, and you're taking a gift and meeting your new neighbor. So where you can, try to combine things. And so when you are looking at things from different lenses, you can do that. You can combine things instead of being like, oh, I guess I could have done that, right? I think about it, yesterday I went grocery shopping, and I generally will start in one area of the grocery store and to make my way through to, the other side and over to the checkout. So I'm trying to combine all the things that I need to gather as I'm going through each area or through each section. So that way when I get to the end, I don't have to be like, oh yeah, I need to go back to the vegetables. Oh yeah, now I need to go back to the frozen foods. Oh, I need to go over to dairy, right? I'm not like making all these different trips and making this, combining things as I go along. So it's another way of looking at it. So that is the sixth, so let me repeat. So number 4 was strong vision for the future. Number 5 was goals based on principles and vision. And then number 6 is finding perspective and acting with integrity. So those are our 3 for today. So again, your action item for today is going to be to look at your bigger picture. Look at when you turn 80. What do you want your life to be? What do you want your life to look like? What do you want to have accomplished? What are the things you want to have done? Look at that, and that'll help you kind of backtrack into the things that are important to you, what your overall vision for your life is, and help you set some kind of ideas from there. And then creating that personal mission statement. So think about your 80-year birthday. What do you want to happen? That's your action item for today. That is it for us today. Announcements is, if you haven't already, there's some spots still left open for Plan for Success. This is going to be starting next week. We're going to be in a small, intimate group, about 5 or 6 of us, and we're going to lead through a 90-day kind of power plan. We're going to get you clear, focused. There are going to be some one-on-one coaching, some support, accountability. I'll be live 3 days a week with some action steps for you guys to kind of get clear, and I will be available for coaching. And then we'll also get 1 free hour of coaching with me, all for the amazing price of $47, because I love you all. All right, so if you are interested in that, let me know. Let me know down below. I think we still have a couple of seats left, so get it fast before it goes. All right, everyone, have a great rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow for the last 4 highlights of First Things First by Stephen Covey. Bye.